Okay, guys, so this might be the best video I have ever made. All of these dinners were 10 out of 10, would recommend. So first I was just putting some meat on the grill. So I just decided to marinate it with this chimichurri sauce and it was so good. Okay, this is all I put on it was this, and I left it sit overnight in the bowl with the marinade in it. And that was it. I just threw it on the grill. I didn't take any video of that. I did add some chicken to that bowl and some shrimp afterwards. And I made some fried plantains. So good. I don't eat those, but the protein was enough for me. 10 out of 10. Do recommend that sauce. Okay, so the next night, I make my stuffed peppers usually Italian style. So I just fry off my meat and I get rid of the grease. And once the grease is gone, I just add whatever seasonings I want. Pretty much garlic, paprika, onion powder, diced onion, minced onion, Italian seasoning, basil, whatever seasonings that you want. But I keep it kind of Italian style. And I like it much better than just your traditional stuffed peppers. I definitely recommend these, especially if you're not a stuffed pepper fan, because I'm really not a regular stuffed pepper fan. So I hate these little bottles. This is what always happens to me. I have to take the lid off. Okay, so once I get everything all in there, I will add some sauce. So add the sauce, and I was having a really hard time with this jar. As you can see, there wasn't a ton left, so I really had to fight with the jar to get it out. I had to add a little bit more, but that's okay. Stir it up. It should look like this. Super yummy, almost like you're going to use it for a sauce. Then you're going to add your cooked cold rice or cooked hot rice, whatever. I use probably about double the meat as I do rice because I'm not a big rice fan. Then you're going to cut your peppers either way that you want, up and down, side to side, whatever. Just make sure your pepper has a good enough hole in it. Make sure you get open enough peppers. Mine were a little bit smushed, like, so to say. I don't know. They were a little bit, the hole wasn't big enough. So it was pretty hard for me to stuff the meat inside. But anyway, so get these all filled up and transfer them to your baking dish. So make sure you put enough meat and the mixture in there. Okay, so I'm going to just fill 2 of them up just for an example for you, and the rest I did off camera. Super yummy, really filling, and when you make them Italian style, they are so much better. Anything in this entire world is better Italian style. Just saying. Don't throw any shade at me. Okay, anyway. So here we are, just filling up the last of the pepper. Really heap that baby on there. Put everything in your baking dish. And then you are going to top these off with a little bit of sauce. Now, I prefer to use like a sauce that's seasoned, but I had a couple of these little cans of sauce, so I was like, oh, whatever, we'll just use these up because I don't usually buy them. I don't actually know why I had them. So put some sauce on top because why not? These are Italian style and sauce goes on anything pretty much. Whatever. I would eat sauce on cereal if people wouldn't look at me funny. Anyway, so we're going to put the sauce on there and then we're going to top it with mozzarella cheese because this is Italian style. So that's what you have to do. So top it with enough mozzarella cheese. Smother that baby. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to top it off and then we're going to have our oven set for 350 and you're going to leave those in there until the cheese is bubbly and melted. I left them in a little bit too long. They got a little bit brown on top, but listen, they were still good. It was just the cheese. And guess what? I like browned cheese, so it's cool. There they are. You don't have to serve these with any sides because there's rice in it, there's meat in it, there's veggies in it. Everything's right there. One meal right there. Next, I made chicken marsala. So this is a labor of love, and it takes a little bit of while. It takes a little bit of while to make. So you're gonna want to put some oil in a pan, and you're gonna want to already have your veggies cut up. So If you don't like mushrooms, it's okay. You can take the mushrooms out. Just don't use as many as I used. I love mushrooms, so I used a completely full container of mushrooms. There were so many. You do not need to use these. Use as many as your little heart desires. So you're going to want to have mushrooms, onions, and garlic pre-cut as much as you'd like. So I had an entire large container of mushrooms, a whole onion, and I'm going to say a whole clove of garlic. But then again, I really love that too. So you can put as much as you like. Then you're going to just stir this up and cook it down until everything is wilted or whatever, however you call it. So, what a good English teacher. um so yeah, so we're going to just stir this up and let it cook down. And then in the meantime, you are going to get your flour ready for your chicken. So you're going to season your flour any way you'd like to. I put garlic, paprika, and onion powder in that baby. And then you're just going to take your chicken breast fillets and you're just going to dredge them in there. You don't need any egg wash or anything like that. Push the chicken down, make sure that the flour coats it really well. Then you're going to put it in a hot pan with some oil and butter. Do not forget the butter. The butter is really important. Okay, so we're going to cook that down on both sides. We're not going to completely make it brown. We're not going to brown it. We're just going to lightly cook it until it's just cooked through. After all your chicken is done, you're going to deglaze your pan. I use the mushroom stock. You can use any kind you want. You can use chicken stock, turkey stock, beef stock, whatever. I think mushroom or chicken would be the best, but use what you have. Then we're going to use Marsala wine. I use the cooking stuff. You can use the regular stuff. You're just going to deglaze the pan. You're going to use your spatula and get all those good pieces off the bottom. Those are flavor. Look at my dog in the background. Isn't she cute? She's such a pain. Anyway, so we're going to deglaze the pan, and that's what I'm doing here. And then once the pan is deglazed, you're going to let that just cook off a little bit. And then you're going to add all of your stuff back into the pan. So I put my chicken back in first, and my pan was, I probably could have used a bigger pan for this, but oh well, it worked. It was fine. And it's good because you just take the chicken, you take the veggies out, and then you put the chicken in, and then you put everything back in. So it's kind of like a one pot thing, except for the plate that you have to dirty to hold your vegetables while your chicken's cooking, whatever. Anyway, so you're going to put everything back in, and then you are going to smother it up with all of your veggies. And then you're going to put a lid on. Guess what? I don't have a lid for this pan, so I used a different lid for a different pot, and it didn't fit all the way. Don't judge me, please. Thank you. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Put those all back in and cover that baby up and let it just cook together for a little bit, get a little bit thick. And if you want, you could add a little bit of cornstarch or flour to this. If you do make a slurry, don't add it right in. It will make it clumpy. All right. So the next night I made pan-seared scallops and just some risotto, which was really, really good. So what I do is I take my scallops and I dry them completely and just pan-sear them. Put a little bit of oil in there, pan-seared, that's it. Maybe a little bit of salt. In this pot, I put some of that mushroom stock that I had left over, maybe about 2 cups, and 2 bouillon cubes. And then I used a little bit less than a half a cup of the risotto, and there it is. With just a can of green beans. Very simple, very good. My son loved that risotto. It was just so good. And I'm not really a big fan of that kind of stuff. So 10 out of 10 do recommend. This night I used some leftover steak and I just made some simple steak tacos. So I cut up the steak real thin, used some taco seasoning, added some water, maybe a little bit too much, and that's okay because it's okay. Because cooking is just, it is what it is. If it's no good, we just throw it away or give it to the dog. Just some really nice lettuce, some small street taco shells, stuff those babies up. Serve them with a little bit of chips on the side, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Bye.